Hello, you're very welcome to Gerry's DIY. In the last video I showed you how to make this portable oil container. You know, just a very easy way of getting a central heating system back up and running if it's run out of kerosene or diesel. So essentially all it is a 5-gallon drum with a tank connector and a valve, you know, a 1/2-inch lever valve put on it and a 1/2-inch by 10mm straight coupling. This is a standard oil line. This comes with all these riello burners and so on, typically most burners. But anyway, this was supplied with it and they're replaceable. Now, generally when you run out of oil, you're after sucking oil down the line and brought air into the system. The little pump in these things can't pump air, and it can't suck. You know, it can push oil forward, which in turn pulls more oil behind it. But that's essentially how they work. So I'm going to show you how to shift an airlock out of this now. Okay, so in order to get this thing standing, I just have it resting on a small box. This is just brake pads off a car. Okay, so look, to get this riello burner primed, our burner is obviously sitting higher than the oil level. You can see the oil level in this drum below it. And when I open this and open the valve, nothing is going to happen. And the oil pump can't suck oil up the line. It has to be primed. So this is the nut that comes off it. So you can see it. It's got a little aluminium washer. That washer is necessary for the seal. You could use a copper washer or something like that off a car, but not plastic because it needs to be tight. Now look, I'm going to open this valve, hopefully. Now that's it, the valve is fully open. We had a little bit, you know, a couple of bubbles and stuff go on here, but we don't have any oil flowing because it's too high. Now, how do I get oil from there to here in order to prime it? Now, in this situation, it's no problem. I just reverse the levels here. Bring the bucket higher than this, or bring the drum higher than the burner, and it'll just flow out naturally. That's great. But, you know, there are situations where you're at a house or a factory or something. You go to fire up the burner, you can't get any oil in the line. And, you know, after they've run out, the oil gets populated with air pockets, and those pockets resist the oil flowing down the line. So you need something to push it or suck it. So what I've done is I've got a different cap for this oil drum. There's your standard cap. It's the one that came with it. And there's a cap that I've made for it. And I've drilled a 4mm hole in it. I'm going to show you why I drilled that 4mm hole in a second. But we'll put the black one on with the hole. Now you can do something similar with a big 200-gallon or 1,000 litre, 250-gallon, 1,000-litre oil tank. Not necessarily one of these, but you can do it. So look, I'm just going to use a can of air. This is just air duster. You know, the stuff you spray off computers with? That's all this is. And the reason I drilled the 4mm hole is that this goes into it. Okay, and literally all I'm going to do is pressurize the top of the liquid, which will push down on the liquid, give it more than atmospheric pressure, and drive it up the line. Now, before I do that, I'm just going to put the little nut back in, otherwise it'll squirt out. So, actually I'll just let you see it. Maybe you can see it better if I don't. There we go, you can see the oil flowing out of that now. And that's it. You have to tighten it while there's still pressure on it. That's all I did. Nothing, you know, extraordinary. But that burner is ready to fire up now. And what I'll do is I'll try and leave it here. The only thing is it's sitting in a puddle of oil, of kerosene, and I want to fire it up. So just for, you know, safety's sake, I'm going to dry that off. This is an extreme case, all right? We've used air to pressurize the top of the tank to drive the oil up the line and out. And as I said, it was only a can of duster. It's an air duster, you know, just a can of stuff you can get in your local office supplies or pound shop. Now, this is not as flammable as petrol. This is kerosene, which is a cousin of diesel. So I'm just going to move this away a bit. Kerosene burns cleaner than diesel, and it's used commonly, you know, in Europe for burners. It's just a bit cleaner. So here we go. I'm going to fire this up. We've got oil up as far as this, so when I hit the button, remember that air line was dry. There was nothing in it. I don't even know. I haven't fired this up in a couple of years, so it should go. Let's try it. don't know if you can see it. I'm going to plug this in. I can plug it out quickly as well. About 30 seconds. You can see it moving air, so it wants us to turn the propeller. And that's it. How to get an airlocked, and it was severely airlocked because it was higher than the actual, the feed. So it just showed you how to get the oil up a line and into this using just air. So there you go. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there for now. If you like the video, please thumbs up, subscribe down here, that'd be great. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. Good luck.